Why I still believe in resolutions and what I'm aiming for in 2026. I'm unapologetically pro resolution. January is my favorite artificial construct. I love a clean slate, even if it's just the calendar flipping over. But resolutions often get a bad rep because people say they don't stick or they're just vague hopes in disguise. But I think that misses the point. A new year doesn't guarantee you'll suddenly become the kind of person who wakes up at 5 a.m. to drink green juice and run 10 miles, but it does offer a fresh burst of motivation. And motivation, fleeting as it can be, is a resource worth using when it shows up. The science agrees. Wharton professor Katie Milkman's work on the fresh start effect shows that temporal landmarks, like the start of a new year, give us a psychological boost to make changes. So yes, resolutions are arbitrary. They're also effective. But here's the key. It's not enough to want something. You need systems to support it. As I wrote in Motivation Isn't Magic, people who follow through on their goals aren't superhuman. They've just built better scaffolding. That might mean setting stakes like my infamous ice bath threat if I didn't finish my first book draft, reconnecting with your why, or celebrating the micro wins along the way. So what does that look like for me in 2026? I like to break down goals into the 4 domains I discussed in Designing Success: work, family, community, and self. Here's what I'm focused on in some of my initial thoughts on building the scaffolding. So I'll actually hit them. First, goals though are less about the time and more about how running makes me feel. I will train to hit my goals. These goals though are less about the time and more about how running makes me feel. I will train to hit my goals, but I run because I'm a better, happier person when I prioritize it. I also plan to continue lifting twice a week because I know strength training is pretty crucial for health, but it's much less fun than running for me, so I'll need to pair it with something I enjoy, like perhaps a Friends rewatch or something. My work goals: public speaking and scaling impact. I want to do at least a dozen speaking events this year with a real focus on paid keynotes. I love the energy of being on stage and helping others take action in their own lives. I already have a January and February event lined up. I just need 10 more. My initial strategy will be to prioritize outreach and dedicate time to it each week. I'll adjust and learn as I go. And if you need a speaker to talk to driven professionals about how they can think like an entrepreneur to hit their goals, or to a women's professional development group or ERG, I'm your girl. On the content side, I hope to show up consistently, but with grace. So I want to mix up my content a bit. I'll be starting a monthly LinkedIn newsletter, which will likely be a digest of this one, and I plan to post consistently on TikTok and Instagram for about a month and then reassess. Lastly, I'm aiming to make more fun challenges like the 14-day New Year, New You one. For this goal, I'm not really judging success by something like post 5 times per week, but rather by the number of experiments and shots on goal. For my family domain, I'm focusing on soaking up this season. So later this year, my daughter starts full day preschool, and I'm well aware that our early afternoon adventures, like going to the grocery store, playground trips, and library visits, are numbered. And I want to fully embrace this season, even if it means I only get 2 kid-free hours a day. My kids mostly still think I'm cool, and I'm soaking that in while it lasts. This isn't so much a goal as a mindset, a reminder that there will be times I want to do something but can't because it doesn't make sense for my family. And that's okay. It's good to be fully enjoying the season I'm in. For my community goals, I want to focus on my friendships. As anyone with little kids knows, it's tough to maintain friendships at the same level. Bedtimes clash with dinners out, everyone's tired, life is hectic. But my goal for this year is to bring back phone calls for connecting with my friends. Texting isn't enough. Finding a time that works for everyone to meet in person isn't frequent enough. But hearing my friends' voices is pretty great. So that's what I hope to do this year. For the most part, I'm setting goals I can track and work toward, and I'll be checking in on them throughout the year. The check-ins matter not because I expect perfection, but because progress counts for staying motivated. And if I fall short, that's okay. As I wrote in Designing Success, you don't need to take a rocket ship toward your goals. Walking is fine. If you're setting goals this year too and want an accountability buddy, hit reply and let me know what you're working on. We can cheer each other on.